So we're going to walk up on this leak in Calabasas, California. This was not a confirmed leak, and normally we don't like doing leak detections on non-confirmed leaks, yet we decided to do it because there were a couple of different scenarios and situations with this specific pool. Again, when we walk the property to see what this pool's made of before we even start and take out our equipment, we're looking, so we have a spillway, we have a spa that spills to pool that spills to catch basin down below. We're going to look for structural cracks. We're going to walk the property. Going to take a look at the equipment, how we have it set up. In this case, we're obviously going to put it in service mode so that we can get back to the pool and walk it. Notice how we have some water around the filter area. Could be very light drips and stuff like that, but we're going to inspect it. We're going to look at it, and we're going to see what makes this specific pool tick. Right now, they still have one of the pumps running, and that gets shut off for what we're going to do right here, and that is literally walk the pool. We're looking for structural cracks. We're looking for where return lines are located. We're looking for where suctions are located. We're looking for what makes this specific pool tick. We're actually using the equipment as well to drain some water from pool to spa to keep it from spilling into spillway for when we use our listening equipment. In order to do that, we're filling up the spa, which is going to literally drop the other water level. So you see the dripping will actually wind up slowing down. When it does drip and we are listening, we have to take that into consideration. Whenever you have a dripping situation in any body of water, it's going to create that dripping noise, and you're going to actually hear that. Next thing we're going to do is we're hooking up our SM1, and our SM1 is good for listening for anything on the walls, whether it's in the pool or whether it's actually in the spa. We're listening to side suctions here, we're listening to the light niches, and we're listening to the conduits and all the spot jets that are actually down in there. While we're listening, we're actually looking for those structural cracks. We're looking for something, bond beam breaks in this spot. We have a lot of calcification, a lot of rock, which will sometimes point to where those structural cracks can be. In this case, we heard nothing in the spa. Now we're dropping over to pool, and we're listening over the main drains of the pool. He's going to listen to these vac lines, and you should move all this stuff out of your way before you actually start listening. It makes it easier than bending down with all your wires and your equipment. Now we're listening in spa, so front port to main drains, back port is to suction. We're also checking those actual drains to make sure that they're not cracked and not actually leaking. Here we're listening to side suctions of what we have, and we're listening to bench jets that we have on the specific side of this pool. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to drop to the lower basin, and while we have our SM1 set up, we're just going to actually listen. As you can see, when we have water spilling over, it's going to create those noises. We're trying to listen in between. Sometimes we could take our hand, swipe water over, and it'll get it to stop, but sometimes that will actually create more noise. So we're trying to avoid that. Here we do our static cone testing. So we're going to listen static over all of these fittings, and we're going to check them for actual leaks. Static testing is the easiest way to go here because we don't have to cut these lines and pressure them up. All we're going to do is if we have 4 returns or 4 jets, we're going to plug 3 of them solid, put the pinhole in front of the last one. If it was pulling, you would see it. This is not pulling, so we know and we can confirm that those lines are not actually leaking. Next, we're going to static test that the skimmer back port. You can't do the front port because the front port is open unless you're listening with a dome, but it's always good to get your underwater flashlight and your flashlight and get light on the situation. It's able to help you see those seams where the plastic butts up, and you could see right here we're dye testing it, but we have 0 pull. Getting light on the subject really helps you out in these situations. Again, this is a full-blown leak detection, and we're glad we're able to show you this because we're really running through every bit of the process. After we're done listening with our LT1000, we have our hydro stick, and our hydro stick is a little bit more sensitive as far as listening is concerned, maybe 20 to 30% more. So we wanted to do a demonstration and actually use it to see if there's something that we just didn't hear with the LT1000, but that's not the case. We're not hearing any leaks behind these covers, behind these grates with the pipe mics. We're not seeing the structural cracks that are actually leaking. We do have some cracking. We're going to show you. We're dye testing those cracks, but we're not running into any leaks with them. Side suction on spa. You could use the pool scope. You could use the SM1. Some people have a preference. We have some guys that use the SM1 on absolutely everything, and we have some people that like to use the pool scope on absolutely everything. Here we got a little dog who wanted to come in and take a look at our work. Again, listening around the drain suctions, and we're going to move forward to the rest of the leak detection. One thing that we really love to do, and this is one of my favorite tools in this whole situation, is using that mirror. That mirror allows me to see things that I can't reach my head over and see. If you'll notice this crack right here that's in the stone, we like to use our mirrors. Sometimes we just can't see that with our eye. These mirrors always accentuate and bring it out, but then when we put dye on it, we're not getting any direct pull whatsoever. You always got to get dye on those leaks. A lot of times we listen to them. Sometimes those leaks don't make the noises that we need to hear. So here's the solenoid valve, and this solenoid valve is hooked up to a pipe that's running down to the catch basin. If you'll notice, that line is going to a clock, and that clock is probably on that one zone. And if you look at the programming, you can see how long they have it set to run. Again, we've run into many leak detections where they have this set up. Sometimes there could be a power outage, we'll shut down that whole box, and regular evaporation is going to tell a homeowner that the pool is leaking when it's actually not. But you always have to look at the diagrams. You always have to look at those run times and how long they had it set. Sometimes they hook those things up because there's a leak and you don't want to deal with it. So it's very important to see what's adding water to that pool and the situation that's going on. In this case, we had no leaks detected. We're glad we were able to walk you through the whole entire leak detection performance on this pool without having to pressure it up. We did it all static listening, and that's how we got this leak done.